This week, the rise of health journalism and advertising as we look at the business case for a revamped magazine and turning the grudge purchase of medical insurance into a clever marketing campaign. We're also going to look at the success story of a print offering that has become an internationally recognized social media brand, and an international expert tells us why marketing divisions need to be run like 24-hour news operations. This is Mags on Media. Let's start with this. 2014 saw the launch of the inaugural Cannes Lions Health Awards, where excellence in health advertising was celebrated. About 800 people from 50 countries coming together to share, judge and celebrate life-changing creativity. A campaign by the Dentsu agency in Japan for Bestmed obstetrics called Mother Book was awarded a Grand Prix in the health and wellness category. A special book aimed at expectant mothers, featuring a small bump that seems to grow as mothers turn the pages. Mothers were encouraged to write down their thoughts and feelings as their pregnancy progressed. Judges feeling the campaign hit the mark, portraying a real human experience, and also was successful in impacting individual people's lives. Now, say the words medical aid, and most people, I'd hazard to say, would cringe at the thought of what really is a grudge purchase, isn't it? So how do you change people's perception about what really is a necessary evil? Well, one medical aid brand has gone the branded content route, with a series of video stories exhorting people to be the best versions of themselves. We think the campaign works. The agency behind the Bestmed campaign is the Old Shanghai Firecracker Factory, and the MD is Sandra McDiarmid, who's with us. Now, Sandra, a very warm welcome to you. Hello. Let me say this to you, that it's a highly competitive sector. You've gone this branded content short video route. Why?
Well, the branded content short video route is part of a fully integrated campaign. But why we decided to go this route is that Bestmed's business strategy is to prevent lifestyle illnesses. Most people are falling prey to different kinds of lifestyle illnesses, and sport, exercise, health is one way of preventing it. And should the lifestyle illness happen, then Bestmed is also has various ways of helping people get through that as well. So sport is an essential part of Bestmed's marketing campaign and business strategy. The most important part of it, though, is that they've identified cycling as opposed to soccer, rugby, golf or whatever, because it's a family sport, it's social, it's competitive, it's mountain biking, it's road cycling, it's getting up on a Sunday morning with a family outing. So we're trying to help create a happy, healthy society. And if you're healthy, chances are you're going to be happy. If you're unhealthy, chances are you're not going to be happy. Let's talk a little bit about the essence of good branded content these days anyway. You know, it's a word that gets bandied about all the time. What's your understanding? Well, I think content is anything that isn't traditional advertising. And I think powerful content is content that doesn't throw a brand down a person's face. I think you need to be subtly perhaps reminded, or you reflect on it, or because of another punchy billboard campaign or television campaign, you go, I recognise something. But while you're enjoying the content, you're not supposed to be exposed to a brand trying to sell you something or market to you. So Bestmed is sponsoring the Women's Pro team. And they're successful, they're young, and good for camera. You know, everyone likes to see pretty people on camera, and these women are all attractive. They're all incredibly well-spoken, they're very comfortable, they're very relaxed, and they're successful. To what extent is the Bestmed brand itself featured in the videos? Subtly. You know, what does subtly mean, though? Well, they're all in their gear, but the gear has multiple sponsors. You know, there's various sponsors that participate in the cycling team. But it's not a massive brand push? Not at all. If you're aware of the Bestmed brand, which you would be from other work, you'll recognise the CI that we use in the titling sequence, or in the strap lines, or in the little info bites and so on. But we're not pushing Bestmed as a brand. What we're doing is enabling amateur cyclists, family cyclists, social cyclists to hear how winners win. Because our whole thing is that you want to be your personal best. You're not going to win the Tour de France or the Tour de Bordeaux. So if I'm hearing you correctly, in a strategy of branded content, there are two things. One is authenticity. Yes. The other thing is, how is it going to help or change a consumer's life for the better? And also add to a consumer's life. You know, we're not trying to change people all the time. We're trying to add to them. And we're trying to say, well, you know, my example, if you're a window shopper, you know, chances are you're going to be walking kilometres through Sandton City. So why not put on a pedometer, measure your steps, and you know, you're actually helping yourself be healthy, showing people little things that they can do just to make their lives a little healthier and bring families together.
For any other brand who wants to play in this branded content space, what's the secret here? Good writing, good production? Is there more to it than that?
It's the good old storytelling. You know, part of my creative team is people who are film directors, people who are script writers, people who actually understand storytelling. You know, advertising is one thing. There's not that much advertising that does tell a story, and if it does, it's the YouTube version of the 2-minuter. But these types of video content, you need to have a beginning, middle and end. You need to have a point. The production values have got to be as high as what people are exposed to on television. You can't just go and do a funny little thing on your iPhone.
Sandra McDiarmid from the Old Shanghai Firecracker Factory, thank you for talking to us.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, let's stay with health communication and look now at more impressive work from this year's Cannes Lions Health Awards. The Leo Burnett Agency in Sao Paulo in Brazil walking away with a gold health and awareness line for a very clever campaign that raised awareness about organ donation.
We took off the red from the traditional jersey of Vitória from Bahia, one of the most important teams in Brazil, with more than 100 years of history. For the color to come back, fans would have to do their part, donate their blood for the club.
Tapping into the soccer-crazy psyche of the country, the campaign reaching more than 130 million people and raised awareness about an important cause, showing that creative thinking can in fact bring about real and meaningful change. All right, let's return now from the south of France. And promoting good health in the media is all I think about getting its messaging and content right, the tonality. And according to our next guest, Roseanne Buchanan, editor of Health Intelligence, health is the new black. Nice turn of phrase. The magazine has just undergone a recent revamp, and let's talk about it. Welcome. Thank you very much for talking to us. Health is the new black we can talk about in just a moment. I'm just looking at some of the cover lines here. Banting, backlash, beyond Botox. Interesting stuff. But you're operating in a very crowded market right now. Where does this title fit in?
Well, the way we look at it is that with the latest ABC figures, the only sector to really have grown is the health and wellness and fitness sectors. So you might say it's overcrowded, but we've had a few casualties over the last year or two. And I think that the titles that are growing and doing well are those that are providing excellent, credible, well-researched content. So that's where we hope to fit in and grow the title.
It's still tough, though, to remain top of mind on the shelf, though, isn't it?
It is, and that's why we're working on our digital platforms, and we have to. Baby steps, we've just revamped the whole magazine, but we are currently also working on our social media and our online content. So we hope to bring that all in line and to create that new community out there as well, to be top of mind.
Roseanne, talk to us a little bit about the broadening of the strategy, if you can. My understanding is it was a popular niche title. It was well established, yet you have decided to take this to a wider audience. What was the thinking behind that? But perhaps more importantly, there is risk attached in a growth strategy like that.
Yes. I think, you know, fear can be very damaging to creativity, and I think if we go into the future with fear, we're not going to get anywhere. So our thinking was the magazine had reached a sort of plateau. It was a sort of an educational tool, and the information was a no-frills, well-researched health information title, but it tended to be a little bit on the clinical side. So I came on to really on board to revamp the title and to take it into a more mainstream, consumer-friendly format.
Consumer-friendly, but you also say, interestingly, easier to read articles, quality health advice, but more digestible. Is that all to the fact that we just have a diminishing attention span these days? I
think so, and I think also, you know, if you have in-house journalists writing everything, there's a little bit of controversy around the legitimacy of the topic. So we have a lot of experts that we go to provide us.
In fact, you've got a big panel, what's like 45 people who sit on that panel.
Yeah, so we do use our experts to write content for us. Plus, we have a popular journalists writing for the title who are credible, and we've got quite a rigorous procedure where everything is checked.
The magazine is called Health Intelligence. The editor is Roseanne Buchanan with us here on Mags on Media. And coming up on the programme, why brand communication agencies should adapt to a 24-hour newsroom model. And we're going to go behind the scenes on a powerful new commercial for an insurance company.
that moves. ENCA.com.